10th-ranked Furman actually began its playoff run last week with a must-win game at Elon. Tailback Cedric Gibson and the Paladins responded in a big way. Today, though, it's Coach Brian Van Gorder standing in the way of a playoff trip as Furman renews its white-hot rivalry with Georgia Southern. The Eagles have struggled all season long, but Coach Bobby Lamb and company know Georgia Southern is always tough. It's Furman and Georgia Southern now on CSS. From Greenville, South Carolina, it's Southern Conference football as the 10th-ranked Furman Paladins, 7-3 on the year, hosts the Georgia Southern Eagles, 3-6. And the Paladins hoping to stay alive in a playoff hunt in Division I AA. Hi, everyone. This is Chuck Husson along with Walt Nadjak, and we've got a great white-hot rivalry game for you today as the Eagles of Georgia Southern get ready for the Furman Paladins. And when you talk about Georgia Southern, you talk about great athletes, one of the best in the history of that program, and they've had a bunch of them. Adrian Peterson and company, Jason Foster, he can do a little bit of everything.
You need to keep the ball out of his hands today because he returns kicks, returns punts, and he's dangerous, and they ran some option last week with him.
Yeah, he plays quarterback some for the Eagles. In fact, he engineered a victory over Furman as a quarterback last year down in Statesboro. For the Furman Paladins, they will go with their leading receiver, their go-to guy. You see him, number 7, Justin Stepp, who has 45 catches on the year.
He's the leading receiver on the team, but there are other people. That tight end is going to catch some balls today, I believe.
Yeah, Brad Bell is a good one, and also, of course, R.J. Webb is a good young receiver as well. Keys to the game, you mentioned, for Georgia Southern, they got to try and slow down that running back tandem of Cedric Gibson and Jerome Felton.
Absolutely, and if Ronaldo Gray is healthy, that makes 3 people they have to stop the run with, and they need to get the lead early.
And, of course, for the Furman Paladins, they have to keep the ball out of Jason Foster's hands, which will be a big key for them, and that's tough to do.
Well, he's the integral part of the offense. They try to get the ball to him by throwing it to him, and if he's a quarterback today, look out.
And he also returns kicks. On the sidelines for us today, watching the weird bounces of the football, will be Nate Ross. Nate?
You're absolutely right, Chuck. A lot of history between these two teams and this kind of thing. It's got points on it because it takes crazy bounces. Let me give you a little history lesson. Go back to 1985, Furman against Georgia Southern for the national championship. Furman loses at 44-42. Who's the quarterback? A senior named Bobby Lamb. 20 years ahead to last year, Furman loses on a late score in that game, 27-24. Furman ranked number 1 at the time, Georgia Southern ranked 14. We go ahead to this year, the ball still takes crazy bounces. Georgia Southern under Brian Van Gorder, a new program, 3-6, they're not happy with that. They're playing for pride. Furman, on the other hand, after a loss at Appalachian, beats Elon, and as you talked about, they're playing for their playoff life. If they win, there's a good chance they get in the playoffs. If they lose, they're definitely out. This little baby can take crazy bounces. We'll see how it bounces today. A big-time game for Furman to try to get into the playoffs. We'll see if they can do it. We'll send it back upstairs to you.
All right. The byword here today is 10th-ranked Furman gets set to go against the Georgia Southern Eagles. We're back with the opening kickoff coming up. You're watching CSS. It's your source for Southeast sports. Overcast day in Greenville, South Carolina. Furman Paladins, Georgia Southern Eagles from Paladin Stadium at the foot of Paris Mountain. Hi again, everyone. Chuck Husson along with Walt Nadjak. Brian Van Gorder on the sidelines for the Georgia Southern Eagles. He came from the Jacksonville Jaguars, where he was on the defensive staff. And prior to that, he was at the University of Georgia, where he was defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs. For the Furman Paladins, Bobby Lamb was quarterback, as Nate mentioned, when these two met for the national championship in 1985. He's a Furman University alumnus and is 42-18 in his 5-year tenure as head coach of the Paladins. Scott Beckler has it all teed up, ready to kick it off. Deep to receive is Marquise Maynard for the Georgia Southern Eagles.
It looks like we have some weather moving in, Chuck.
I hope it doesn't move in on top of this press box, because we don't have a lot of cover up here?
Well, we got Jeff Cabe here from the conference office. We'll have him stand in front of us.
Not sure that'll happen. There's Beckler, and the 18th renewal of this rivalry is underway, and it comes down to McIntosh. He'll take it out to the 31-yard line where he's knocked down. The tackle on the play by Julian Hicks, one of the backup cornerbacks. Fats Cafe starting lineups. First of all, for the Georgia Southern Eagles, Brad Williams, Ricori Green, Lance Wayne, Estrada, and Orr, that big offensive line.
Got a flag on the play, Chuck.
The wideouts are Reggie McCutcheon and Jason Foster. Lamar Lewis, the running back. Dusty Reddick, he's in there mostly as a blocker. Hal Scarborough is the tight end. And the quarterback, and we'll see who comes out. This will be Travis Clark, sophomore from Lincolnton, Georgia, and a transfer from Southern Mississippi. You see his numbers. So first down 10 for Georgia Southern, the ball at the 31-yard line. Out of the shotgun, and handoff going to the running back, Lamar Lewis.
I don't know.
Lewis gets knocked down back at the 26-yard line for a 5-yard loss. The stop on the play is made by Justin Brown.
I don't know if they were going to carry through with that double reverse or just set things up for later on.
Well, Justin Brown has had a great year. The freshman defensive tackle, he is a Georgia native, as so many of these Furman Paladins are. He's from Warner Robins.
Four-man front with a 4-3 look down there.
And this time on the quarterback keeper, it's Jason Foster who slipped in there on the second play. They didn't wait long to put him in a quarterback as Jason Foster ran at quarterback, and the tackle was made by Andrew Thacker, the strong safety who came up to make the play. A gain of about 2 yards. Here's the defensive lineup, brought to you by Fats Cafes, Ravenel, Bray, Justin Brown, who just made that play, and Wallace Artis. The linebackers are Gary Nelson, Andrew Jones, and Clifton Dortch, another Georgia native. The defensive backfield, Austin Holmes, Andrew Thacker, Jeremy Blocker, and William Middleton, who's from Atlanta. Travis Clark back in at quarterback on 3rd down and 13 for Georgia Southern. Pass over the middle. Pass is caught. That is Michael McIntosh, and McIntosh gets out at about the 39 or 40-yard line where he's tackled by Austin Holmes. That may not be enough for the first down, but Georgia Southern really coming into this game at 3-6. They have not much to lose.
Looks like they're about a yard short, and they're going to go with the kicking game.
It'll be 4th down and 1 yard to go. The ball marked at the 40-yard line. And on to punt is Dan Jordan, a junior from Evans, Georgia. Averages 40.1 yards per punt. Justin Stepp is deep to receive.
I think that's 4th in the league in punting average, too, Chuck. I think they're going to put a little pressure on it from the outside.
That's a high spiraling punt. Takes Stepp all the way back at the 14. It bounds inside the 10 and will roll dead at the 6-yard line. All the way down to the 6. And we're going to take a break here. 12:23 remaining first quarter. Just scoreless. Just underway on CSS. And we got chest painters in the crowd today watching their Furman Paladins go against the Georgia Southern Eagles.
This is not the best place to start your first drive.
Nate Ross on the sidelines tells us the temperature has dropped some 15 degrees since the beginning of this game. Ronaldo Gray, the big quarterback for the Paladins. You see his numbers on the year. He's coming off an ankle injury. He's been dinged up. Nate and I worked the game down at Coastal Carolina. He got hurt in that game and has really been hampered since that time. Out of the shotgun. And he's going to keep it. Takes it out across the 10 to about the 11-yard line on first down. And the tackle is made by Brandon Jackson. Here's your Fats Cafe starting lineup for the Paladins. Joel Bell, Thornburg, who's having a great year, Goolsby, Filipovic, and John Kivett, veteran offensive line. The tailback, Cedric Gibson, Jerome Felton, their numbers speak for themselves. Justin Stepp, Sprague, the wideouts, and Brad Bell is the tight end. And there's the quarterback, Ronaldo Gray. You saw his numbers a moment ago. 2nd down and 4 yards to go after the gain of 6 yards on the option play by Gray. And this time he hands it off to Gibson on a counter play. Takes it across the 15 out to the 16-yard line. Stop on a play is made by Ronald Wiggins. Wiggins, the left side cornerback. Here's a Pat's Cafe starting lineup for the defense for Georgia Southern. Solomon getting the start at defensive end along with Beard. Watkins, Daniel, Carry-on Benefield, Jason Earwood, John Mowring are the linebackers. Jackson and Hill are the corners. They're good ones. Rico Zachary and Dietrich Bynum is the strong safety.
Look, I think that first option was to put Georgia Southern on notice that Gray's healthy.
John Mooring, who is third in the conference in tackles. You see him, number 47. Now to the shotgun. Here's a handoff gone to Gibson. Cuts it back against the grain and maybe got a yard or two before he's tackled. Stop on a play by Brandon Daniel, who comes in with 33 tackles on the season. 7.5 for loss and 3.5 sacks. He's having a good year. That's big Brandon Daniel.
He did a great job of stretching that thing because of pushing it to the sidelines. There was no place to cut back.
Mark it at the 18-yard line. It's going to be second down and 8 yards to go after the 2-yard gain for Cedric Gibson. No score as we play here in quarter number 1. Boy, this has been a great rivalry over the years, going back to 1985. And Furman's going to call timeout here.
Ronaldo Gray's not happy with the plays either called or somebody lined up in the wrong formation.
We'll take a break. Back after this on CSS. Chick-fil-A cows working the crowd this afternoon. I think that lead cow probably needs about 3 seats. Sit and watch the game. Furman will face second down and 8 yards to go from the 18-yard line as Ronaldo Gray, number 14, goes to work. He's out of Greenwood, South Carolina. This is a junior-dominated club for Furman.
Looks like Georgia Southern's playing man-to-man in the secondary.
Quick pass over the middle off the hands of Justin Stepp. The coverage by Ronald Wiggins, the left side corner. So it brings up third down and 8 yards to go from inside the 20-yard line.
You can appreciate the reaction to John Mooring, number 47, the linebacker, one of the top linebackers in the Southern Conference. He's all over the field. In fact, he's calling timeout. He doesn't like what he sees right now.
Well,
Furman
I think they had too many men on the field too. So the timeout will be called by Georgia Southern, and already each team has burned a timeout here, and we're just about 5 minutes into the game. Brian Van Gorder, you see him patrolling the sidelines. Now we'll take a little break here. 10 minutes, 8 seconds left. First quarter, still scoreless. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Third down, 8 yards to go for the Paladins from their own 18-yard line as we resume play here on Veterans Day. And the veterans in attendance today just got a big round of applause from the crowd. And we've got a good crowd on hand to watch the Furman Paladins battle the Georgia Southern Eagles. There's an audible at the line of scrimmage, Walt.
They've got wideouts all over the place. 5 eligible receivers right now, quick receivers.
Empty backfield for Ronaldo Gray. Quick pass over the middle, pass complete to Patrick Sprague. Out to the 29-yard line. That's going to be a first down. And a gain of 11 yards on that pass play. Jason Earwood, the middle linebacker, made the stop on Sprague. And for Sprague, that's catch number 27 on the year. Watch it again.
Well, looks like Furman's determined they're going to throw the ball, loosen them up, and get that running game going when they start backing off the line of scrimmage to defend the pass.
They offset the fullback, Felton. And out of the shotgun, it's Ronaldo Gray on 1st and 10 at the 29. Here's the play action going to Gibson. They run the option play, and Cedric Gibson takes it, knocked down by Dietrich Bynum, the strong safety.
Well, he read his key. He's a safety, deep safety, and 2 deep there, and he attacked it in, so he read it very well.
That was a gain of 6 yards on the play, so it brings up second down and about 5 yards to go. He doesn't gain of 5 yards. I'm sorry, Walt.
If he doesn't make that play, they're still running.
Furman with good positive yardage on first down. Paladins will split out Mackey and Stepp to the left, and over on the right it's Sprague. Out of the shotgun again. Here's Big Felton. He rumbles up the middle, and looks like he has a first down by about a half a foot. Jerome Felton on the year. He has 636 yards and has scored 22 touchdowns. Brandon Daniel made the stop. Watch him, number 98.
He looks like Georgia Southern's moving John Mooring around. He's playing both sides of the center as a linebacker, and he's one of the top linebackers in 1AA football.
Felton needed 5. He got 5.5. So first down 10, Furman at the 39-yard line.
This is exactly what Furman needs to do, Chuck, to run some time off the clock and keep Georgia Southern's offense off the field.
The I formation. Play action. Gray. And the pass complete to Sprague once again. Patrick Sprague with a grab, his second of the afternoon.
He ran a crossing pattern from the other side of the hash mark, and the far hash mark, they cleared out, and Sprague ran a crossing pattern, and the ball was very well thrown.
Jason Earwood made the tackle. You see him, number 52. And Sprague gets Furman in Georgia Southern territory for the first time today.
Three wide outs again with the split back.
That's a 16-yard gain for Sprague. Handoff going to Gibson. He runs in the middle this time. Doesn't get much.
That's a keep them honest play there, to keep those linebackers inside.
Larry Beard made the tackle. And the gain.
Tackle by 52, Jason.
Did you get the feeling, Chuck, the first series for both of them, when they both started out there, the intensity was so high, they were a little on edge, and they're settling down now.
Gain was only a yard, so it brings up second down and 9 from the 44-yard line.
Three wide outs again at the eye, coming off the corner.
On the draw play, this is Gibson, and Earwood gets him at the 39-yard line. Flag is down.
Carried by Cedric Gibson.
Flag comes in late.
By 52, Jason Earwood.
A little action in the area of Justin's step. I don't know if it's on Justin or on the defensive back, but there was some contact.
This will go against Furman. The referee here today is Jeff Heiser. Dana Hennant is the umpire. Tim Graham, the head linesman. Marshall Jumper, the line judge. Greg Zimmerman, the side judge. Jack Tiller, the field judge. Back judge is Jim Shire, and Ron Buckner is observing.
I think this is on step. We'll have to listen for the referee.
Block below the waist. Against the offense, number 7. 15 yards. Second down.
Block below the waist called against step, so that's going to back it up 15 yards and does not make a happy camper out of Coach Bobby Lamb.
It looked like he knew it, and he was frustrated there when it was called, but we don't have the replay of it to see how close that was.
So a 15-yard penalty will make it second down and 19 yards to go from the Furman 44-yard line.
McKee is spread out wide to the right by himself.
Throw it underneath. Here's R.J. Webb at the 40-yard line. Webb picks up a bunch. Diedrich Bynum, the short, the strong safety, got him.
He's a bootstrap away from taking it all the way.
Watch it again.
Third down and 5 for the Paladins.
Just got an ankle on him right there.
Late.
And there's Mooring coming in late again. He's all over the field.
This drive started at the 11-yard line. Has now come out to 54 yards. You see R.J. Webb. That was his 23rd catch of the year. He's just a freshman.
Stepp and McKee were wide right.
Here's Donaldo Gray flushed out. And he's going to get sacked all the way back at the 46-yard line, but it's going to be a face mask call against Shaheen Solomon, the defensive end.
He's got to get rid of that ball and throw it away. He was outside the pocket. He could have thrown that away, but he had somebody open to crossing down there. I think we're going to get about back to the original line of scrimmage.
So the face mask call The personal foul. That's the flagrant.
That's the first down now.
Brian Van Gorder not happy with that call. And that moves the ball deep into Georgia Southern territory. There's Shaheen Solomon coming to the sidelines.
Chuck, it wasn't from the spot of the foul. It's the original line of scrimmage, which is a better deal for Furman.
Tough break for Shaheen Solomon. 6'2", 244, a junior from Macon, Georgia.
He's in the slot out to the right.
On the carry, Jerome Felton, and he doesn't get much. John Mooring was the first one there.
They stacked that up pretty good, but you know, you have to run in there to make other things go, and I think Furman's just doing the right thing. Sooner or later, Felton's going to break one for more than a couple yards, and it's still going to open up those throwing lanes.
It's going to be second down, 9 yards to go. Ball at the 24-yard line. 12th play of the drive. On the handoff, it's Cedric Gibson. He didn't get much. Mooring makes another tackle along with Larry Beard.
55, Larry Beard, and 47, John Mooring.
Justin steps out of he hasn't been in the last two plays. I think maybe they're giving him a chance to cool down on the sidelines. He was really upset with that penalty. And McKee and Sprague with the two wideouts.
Third down and 7 now. The ball at the 22-yard line. Big play for the Paladins and the 13th play of this drive. Here's the option play. Ronaldo Gray gets gang tackled at the 17-yard line. Mooring and Beard and Earwood were all there.
I think we're going to see Becker out there.
Scott Beckler, the place kicker for Furman out of Anderson, South Carolina, had a career-long 49-yard field goal last week. But Furman's going to go for it here. Here comes Step back into the lineup. Gibson comes out.
Well, this is 4th and 2. This is not a short 4th and 1. We've given up an almost sure field goal to get the early lead. I think we're going to rethink this one.
Timeout called by the Furman Paladins. 3 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And it's scoreless here as the Paladins and Eagles do battle. As we said earlier, 18th meeting between these two. And the series began back in 1985.
You know, Furman's won 12 straight games at home, too, Chuck. That's on the line today as well as a playoff berth.
CSS has the college gridiron covered with 7 football replay games featuring SEC and ACC squads. Catch Talkin' Football Sunday at 8 only on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Let's go down to Nate Ross on the sidelines. Nate?
It's very interesting during that timeout. Bobby Lamb just stood there. The assistant coaches did all the talking. The decision's been made. They didn't call a timeout to change their mind. They're going for the first down here.
Furman will bring Jerome Felton out as the back behind or beside Ronaldo Gray, as they've got 2 to the left and 1 to the right on 4th down and a long 1 yard to go. Handoff, no, the fake handoff. Gray has it, and he got stopped shy of the first down marker. Gray on the carry, and on the stop, it was Larry Beard, the defensive end.
Tackled by 55, Larry Beard.
That's a momentum changer, Chuck. Conventional wisdom said field goal right there. The thinking behind going for 2 yards, 4th and 2. I know you think you can make it, and maybe the players convinced them they could too. You know,
well, that was a mistake on the blocking scheme. Nobody touched Larry Beard.
That's one of those gambles and risks you take, but that's why Furman wins. Coach Lamb is willing to do that and take risks. He has confidence in his players.
Jason Foster's in the game at quarterback once again. And he doesn't get much. Ball pops loose. Who's got it?
And he was not down either. He was spinning around when that ball came out.
The scrum is still on in there. Furman's football. Jason Foster fumbles. Somebody put a hit on Foster inside. It was Wesley Bray who got Foster initially, and then Jeremy Blocker comes up with a recovery.
Well, you know, it's hard to play receiver all week and then go in a quarterback and take a couple series. They changed their mind.
Second down.
Now they're going to change the call. They're going to say he was not down. Bobby Lamb has gone
I don't know what
crazy
evidence
on the sidelines. I'd like to see that one again because the ball clearly popped loose. I'd love to see that replay again.
Well, they've got to allow Furman time to get back out on the field. They can't let that ball be snapped and a change like this.
Foster still in the game at quarterback. Watch it again.
That ball's out.
Ball came loose. It was on Wesley Bray's back.
It sure looked like it was out.
Against Furman, coaching staff, 15 yards.
Well, they hit Bobby Lamb with a 15-yard penalty. As you can see, he is venting on that. A 15-yard penalty is going to move the ball out to the 31-yard line.
This game is shaping up as a typical Georgia Southern Furman game. I think Coach Lamb got his money's worth there. He got it out of his system, but he had every right to from what we can see in our replay camera.
And the ball is on the ground again. Does Furman have it?
I don't think so.
Foster fumbled again.
They
handed it off that time to Lamar Lewis, and Thacker was in there to knock it loose, I think. We can watch it again. Oh, that was a bad handoff.
Right there. Ravenel had it.
Well, Wallace Artis had a shot at it, and then Lewis recovered the fumble.
It goes back to Nate Ross's pregame with the ball taking funny bounces.
Second down and 13 yards to go. The ball at the 27. Make it 14 yards. Second and 14. Here's Foster. And there's Ravenel all over Foster.
I'll tell you what, pretty predictable when he goes in at quarterback, isn't it? You can walk your corners up a little bit more. He doesn't throw that often.
So it's going to bring up third down and 12 yards to go. Furman fans climb to their feet.
You got a flank to this way and a split end left. Split back, so I think they're in there for pass protection.
There's a one-hopper to the wide receiver, and it's incomplete. Thacker had the coverage on Tim Camp.
Chuck, the left halfback, did a little swing out into the seam toward the sideline, and he was wide open.
Back to punt for Georgia Southern, 33, Dan Jordan.
Justin Stepp deep to receive the punt from Dan Jordan, who stands at his own 15-yard line. This is still scoreless. We're late in the first quarter. Another good punt.
Those are the toughest kind to kick when it turns over the backwards. Instead of the point going down, it's backing up. That was some exchange of possessions there back.
That was, yeah.
Looked like the end of the Dallas Cowboys game last Sunday.
Furman's football, first down and 10, marked at the 26-yard line.
got two wideouts, flanker and a split end.
Jerome Felton on the carry.
Looks like a
Gets
trap.
about 3 yards on the play. Jerry Barker makes the stop, the nose man for the Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern's done a good job of plugging up inside the tackle so far. Felton hadn't had much room to run.
Felton comes out of the lineup now, and Cedric Gibson comes in. Paladins will put R.J. Webb over on the right side, and coming to the bottom of your screen, Stepp and Ryan Mackey. Gray, quick pass over the middle. That pass complete to Chris Truss, the tight end. He makes a sliding catch at the 37-yard line.
I think he's got the first.
Good for another Furman. First down.
That was a gain of 10 yards on that play, so it brings up first down and 10 yards to go at the 37-yard line, and that may be the final play of the first quarter. Furman will watch the final seconds tick away and talk it over here on first down and 10 yards to go at the 37-yard line. No score, one in the books. Furman battling Georgia Southern. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Paladins fans watching their favorite team battle, the Georgia Southern Eagles. Furman comes into this game ranked 10th in the Sports Network poll, hoping to get a win here today and keep their hopes alive for a playoff spot. That playoff field will be announced next Sunday for Division I AA. First down, 10 yards to go for Furman. The ball is at the 37-yard line. Stepp, the motion man, shotgun package for Ronaldo Gray.
Right away.
Gray throws it into the cheap seats as he gets outside the tackle box. It's going to bring up second down and 10 yards to go from the 37-yard line. Big time pressure that time from Shaheen Solomon, who's getting the start here for Sherrod Taylor, who's not eligible for this game.
You know, it looks like Georgia Southern's playing man underneath and zone too deep back there. And they had five people playing man.
Coach Bobby Lamb looking on. He's been very successful here at Furman. 42-18. He's 1-3 though against Georgia Southern.
Staying in that too deep.
Gray going to throw a curl route that's intended for Sprague. Fans wanted holding called against Brandon Jackson, the cornerback on that side, but didn't get the flag.
Well, they're going to say the ball was not catchable.
Well, it wasn't catchable because if the receiver was being held, he couldn't get to it.
Third down and 10 for the Paladins.
That's a rough story, and he's sticking to it, I'm afraid.
Twins left, twins right. With a slot man over there, that's Patrick Sprague. He's been open over the middle a couple of times. And
5 receivers.
Gray's got it
call.
off, just got it off. Throws a bubble screen. This is R.J. Webb off to the races. Webb inside the 35-yard line, knocked down by Diedrich Bynum, the strong safety, and Diedrich Bynum saved a touchdown.
They had the right play called against that blitz too, Chuck. Had that not been a screen pass, there would have been trouble. He would have got sacked. A perfect play against the blitz.
Furman calls that the bubble screen or the slam screen.
Well, the air got out of the bubble for Georgia Southern secondary on that.
Put the ball down at the 31-yard line. Webb now with 2 catches on the afternoon for 46 yards. We're early in the second quarter. R.J. Webb, he's from nearby Pickens, South Carolina.
Here comes more.
Gibson picks up the blitz, and then Gray just got it away as he got tattooed by Jason Earwood. The ball went out, and then there was T.J. Watkins also in there.
That was a great rush by a very, very good football player. He's incredible. He does the somersault, and he's right up.
So it brings up second down and 10 yards to go. Ball at the 31-yard line. Furman has driven to about the 23 of Georgia Southern, but got stopped on fourth down. High formation. And the sprint draw goes to Gibson. Cedric Gibson doesn't get much. He is tackled by Carson Hill, who's a true freshman cornerback out of Milledgeville, Georgia. Went to Baldwin County High School. He's a good one. He runs a 3.6940. 3.6940.
Third down.
Not bad.
That's moving on. Third down, 8 yards to go. Mark the ball at the 29-yard line. Empty backfield for Ronaldo Gray, who audibles at the line of scrimmage.
And 500 too deep against it again.
Gray going to run up the middle. Here's a quarterback draw. Picks up the first down inside the 20 at the 19. Gain of 6, maybe 7 yards on the play. Ronald Wiggins, number 23, got the tackle.
I think Gray had visions of being Felton there and trying to run that guy over.
Ball in the red zone. Ball at the 19-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. Brantley Kendall's in the game at fullback now.
McKee's out here wide to the right.
And the pass for Kendall. Caught! And into the end zone. Touchdown, Brantley Kendall. His second touchdown catch of the year. Puts Furman out in front on Georgia Southern, 6-0.
How did that ball get in there, Chuck?
Perfect throw by Ronaldo Gray as Kendall beats Terrion Benefield and Brandon Jackson. Watch it again coming into your lap. What a grab.
Double coverage and the ball's thrown perfectly.
So Scott Beckler, who on the season is 31 of 33, the junior from Anderson, South Carolina. Now we have a fan on the field.
An exuberant student, it looks like. They can't be in the lum running that fast.
That flag is down. They're going to flag Furman here, I think. Fan jumps over the fence.
There he goes up in the... He can't hide. I still know where he is. I can see him. But he sees a security man coming, and he's headed out to the parking lot.
Furman with the early lead on the touchdown pass from Ronaldo Gray to Brantley Kendall. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Furman fans like what they see so far as their Paladins break on top early. 7-0. Time to sit down and then enjoy another defensive stand by the Paladins.
Isn't it interesting?
How can you sit down in a game like this? I'm sorry.
Foster's not back deep to return kickoff. That tells you he's going to play some more quarterback.
Comes down, and it's taken by Ronnie Wagner. Out across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. Here's the scoring drive for the Paladins. One big play in there by R.J. Webb. Covers 74 yards in 9 plays, consuming 3 minutes and 34 seconds. And the 19-yard touchdown pass to Brantley Kendall from Ronaldo Gray puts the Paladins on the board. Philip Morris got the tackle on that kickoff.
Yeah, he's got Foster at quarterback.
You see the total offense for the Eagles on the day, and
that is...
right now they're stuck in neutral.
Those figures hard to believe.
Little Foster finds a seam. There he goes. Jason Foster, one man to beat. And he can beat you on one play. That total offense number just went up.
A little counter option inside, Chuck. A little reverse pivot, counter option. The seam was open.
That's an 83-yard touchdown run for Jason Foster. Just like we drew it up and practiced it all week. Former Southern Conference Freshman of the Year, and man, once he got in the secondary, it was over.
That's the second offensive philosophy that Furman had to be aware of.
So it's 7-6. On to try the point after, it's Patrick Boland. And Boland knocks it through there. So we're even up here. 12 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the second quarter. 7-7 your score, and you're watching CSS. 7-7 score. Furman battling the Georgia Southern Eagles here. Looking for more college football action? Catch the CIAA National Championship game between Elizabeth City State and North Carolina Central Sunday at 9:30 on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. 83 yards by Jason Foster. That is the longest run by an opponent in Paladin Stadium history, going back about 25 years. William Middleton, Masharon Austin deep to receive for the Furman Paladins. This is going to be Middleton, 5 yards deep, and he will take a knee. The kickoff by Jonathan Dudley.
Furman will start first down and 10 from the 20-yard line.
So Furman will have the ball first down and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Going back last year, it was Jason Foster who engineered the victory over Furman with a late in the fourth quarter drive. He handed the ball to their big man, Jermaine Austin, and he scored his third touchdown of the day, and that got Georgia Southern out in front of Engel Martin and Furman, and the Eagles won for the 12th time in this series. They lead it 12-7. Here's Gray, and he gets decked as he let it go. That was John Mowring who really put the tattoo on Ronaldo Gray.
For number 7, Justin Stepp.
Middleton, the defensive back, is getting a little frisky on the sidelines there. I don't know, a few comments made to the receiver.
Justin Stepp was the intended receiver. Put the ball back at the 20-yard line. Second down and 10 yards to go. Watch Mowring here. He is open for business, folks.
He's all over the place. He has a non-stop motor.
On the coverage, Rico Zachary, the free safety. That's number 1 for Georgia Southern. And here's Belton breaking tackles for 11 yards and a first down. Carson Hill, the cornerback, made the stop on Jerome Felton. Big Felton, the junior from Madisonville, Tennessee.
That's vintage Felton right there. Broke one tackle, dragged another one for the first down.
I'll tell you what, Larry Beard, the defensive end, had him and then didn't have him, and Carson Hill had to finish him off.
Carson Hill got a little bit of a ride there.
Carson Hill weighs 165, and Jerome Felton weighs 250.
That's a little missing.
Play action, and the quarterback draw. Here's Gray, and stays on his feet. And he got knocked down at the 33-yard line. That was Shaheen Solomon once again, and Gray's taking a beating here.
I'll tell you, that touchdown run there by Foster re-energized that Georgia Southern defense and the whole team.
Mowring was the one that actually was the first one there. Carson Hill, a little cornerback, helped out. Gray, 5 carries on the day for 23 yards. He's the leading rusher for Furman so far.
Haven't staying in that too deep.
Here's the option. Gray cuts it back and almost broke it. He was at the 38-yard line when he tripped up. He was one step away from breaking that one for a big gain. Larry Beard got an ankle on Ronaldo Gray. Watch him cut it back against the grain here, Walt.
Third down and 2 for the Paladins.
He's got the, there's nothing wrong with that ankle. I mean, this looks pretty healthy. It's just a matter of time till Furman throws to the tight end in between the 2 deep safeties.
Now they've got twins to the right, one to the left, shotgun formation.
They're changed up.
Brantley Kendall, he caught a touchdown pass, and Gray's going to have to call a timeout. Furman couldn't get set up correctly, and Gray has to burn his second timeout of the half.
They went to single safety, and obviously playing man-to-man on the receivers.
We'll take a break. Furman and Georgia Southern on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. I'm Chuck Huston along with Walt Nadzak. And on the sidelines today, Nate Ross, as the Furman fans look on. Their Paladins locked up with Georgia Southern, 7-7. Third down and 2 yards to go from the Paladins' 39-yard line. And Felton got upended at the line of scrimmage. Somebody got great penetration. It was Shaheen Solomon once again, that defensive end, who was an emergency starter after Sherrod Taylor was suspended for this game.
They had 8 people in the box from tackle to tight end.
Paladin's going to punt it here. Coming on to punt the football is Trent Hawk. He's a freshman out of Norcross, Georgia, averaging 34.9 yards per punt. They didn't even start punting until midway through the season.
A single safety back.
Snapper is Thomas Slaughter. And this is high and going to be short. Takes a Furman roll, goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line, so no return on the punt.
Let's see if Foster comes back at quarterback, and I'm sure he will.
Takes over first down and 10 from the 25-yard line.
Because he was not deep to receive that punt. So.
NFL expert Victor Green reviews the weekend's top NFL matchups Monday at 6 and 11, only on Sports Night on TSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Prize tailgate lunch that was served by Publix before today's game.
That was a 36-yard punt
for all your tailgating needs on your way to the game.
36 yards.
An inside trap there. They lined up in an I formation for a couple of yards, maybe a yard or two.
Carry by 28, Chris Covington.
On the carry, Chris Covington. Covington had a big game early against Central Connecticut. He ran for 216 yards. That was in the first game of the season. He's out of Brookwood High School in Snellville, Georgia. His younger brother, Matt, is a walk-on here as well. There's a flag on the play.
I have no idea what that's for. They break the huddle with too many people?
I think Jeff Heiser is one of the best young referees in college football. He always does a great job. Illegal substitution called against Georgia Southern. They had broken the huddle, and then somebody ran off the field, and you can see Corder wants an explanation.
You know, that's 3 games I've worked with you, or 2 this year, and I've got that right every time, that penalty. Nobody saw it, but I didn't see it either.
Yeah, Van Gorder didn't see it. He wants to know what's going on.
I just took a guess.
So they back it up 5 yards to the 21.
I think I need to buy a lottery ticket.
Boy, Van Gorder did a great job with Mark Rick when he was defensive coordinator at Georgia. On all those great defensive teams. Georgia was beating Auburn earlier today. Here's Covington again. Chris Covington back out to the 25-yard line, gain of 4 yards on the play. Corey Ray, who is in the game at defensive tackle now, a redshirt freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama, made the stop. Covington was actually drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and played a year of minor league baseball before deciding to go to Georgia Southern and accept a football scholarship.
That brings up a Georgia Southern third down.
He now has a couple of years to go. 37 to 15 is the final score on that Georgia-Auburn game. There's a pass that's dropped into and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Reggie McCutcheon. Andrew Jones popped him just to make sure. But McCutcheon had that one right in his mitts and dropped it.
He wasn't going to make the sticks for the first down, but it had picked up about 5 or 6 yards.
33, Dan Jordan back to
Andrew Jones is having a great season as well for the Paladins at middle linebacker. 106 tackles coming in, second only to Chad Enkang of the Elon Phoenix.
He's a little more mobile than most middle guards.
Well, middle linebacker Enkang, I tell you what, he can play sideline to sideline, but so can Andrew Jones. There's the punt by Jordan. And Stepp picks it up and gets run out of bounds almost immediately at the 31-yard line by Lance Turner.
That sideline's a dangerous place sometimes. Joe Paterno found out, huh?
Oh, yeah. Lance Turner, the backup defensive back, a senior out of Milton High School in Alpharetta, Georgia. Joe Pa, they didn't even let him go into the press box and watch the game today. He wanted to go back to the sidelines, but they said no. He said, well, how about the press box? And they even disallowed that. They said his doctors would not let him return to the stadium today. And that's the first time he's missed a game in forever at Penn State. He's been coaching there since 1963?
And his
off the back foot, Gray's pass over the intended receiver. Stephon LaFrance was out there, and so was Patrick Sprague, but the pass was off the mark as again Gray got pressure from the defensive line. Rico Zachary had the coverage. Watch this again. LaFrance, the tailback. And here comes the pressure from the outside. Dwayne Grace, the University of Florida transfer.
I think Felton bounced off that block there and allowed that pressure to be put on Gray.
Joe Pa coaching since 1966. My spotter, Joni Lockridge, she knows everything about college football.
I should know that, Joni. I'm from Pennsylvania originally.
And pass intended that time for Larry Hedden, the big tight end. He comes up empty on the dive. Diedrich Bynum had the coverage. You see Hedden.
3rd and 10.
And the diving attempt by Hedden is incomplete. Now they'll go empty backfield with trips to the left and 2 to the right.
Mooring's out here on Justin Steppen in the near slot.
And so is Rico Zachary.
Actually, Justin was on the line of scrimmage.
Gray with time. Throws. Pass complete to R.J. Webb at the 40-yard line.
That's
It's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Rico Zachary, the free safety, made the tackle. You see him number 1, but 1 yard shy of the first down marker.
All right, Coach, what are we doing here?
I'm punting.
4th down and 1 for the
4th down and 1.
Well,
Furman was already stopped once
they're not
at
gonna
about
punt.
the 23-yard line. They got Big Felton in there who was like trying to tackle a locomotive. Stephon LaFrance is the tailback. Hand up. Going to Felton. I don't think he got there. There's a fumble on the play. The ball is on the ground, and I don't think this is going to work out Furman's way.
Chuck, they got to run off tackle or wide.
That was not a good handoff exchange between Ronaldo Gray and Felton. They're still unstacking. We'll see who comes up with a football.
He didn't make the sticks unless he rolled over the tackler.
Well, the umpire was down at the bottom of the pile. He gets up. That's Dana Hennant.
Wow.
And it's Georgia Southern's football. Huge break for the Eagles. I'll tell you what. Not sure about that call. You can see not a good exchange between Gray and Felton, and he never really had it. The ball popped loose. Watch it again.
He had that elbow down. He didn't have a pocket. His elbow wasn't up to form the pocket. That one's on Felton.
So 1st down and 10 yards to go. The ball is at the Furman 41-yard line. And guess who's back in the game at quarterback? Jason Foster. He went 83 for a touchdown a little bit earlier in this quarter.
Let's see if we get any pickup motion right now. They're not in an option formation right here.
This is Foster. Foster trying to find some running room. And Jeremy Blocker comes up and makes a stop on him. Also there was Hunter Twitty, who's in the game at middle linebacker.
That was a cheap fake to the right, and he had nobody to pitch the ball to. So it was a predetermined quarterback delay, whatever you want to call it, a wide draw or a keeper.
Well, when Hunter Twitty made that penetration and got him to stop and juke, that was when that play was over.
Slowed down the whole process. That's what you got to indecision him. You can't commit yourself. You've got to indecision, break down on him until help comes. 2
left, 2 right, shotgun formation. Clark is back in there at quarterback, and he's going to roll out. Throws it underneath, and a pass incomplete at the 35-yard line.
Right there, Furman had good contain on him. He had no place to go. If that outside Furman defender didn't have outside contain, Foster would have run.
Tim Camp was the intended receiver. You see him, number 19, and the ball pops loose. Austin Holmes was over there. So 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
This is a huge 3rd down play right here.
Jason Foster going out of the lineup. Travis Clark, 6'1", 215, a sophomore from Lincolnton. Georgia. He went to Southern Mississippi and then transferred to Statesboro.
What's that tell you? They're going to swing one of these backs out of the backfield, and here he comes out here to the left, and he didn't see him.
That pass on the money at the 25-yard line. Pass was complete to Tim Camp, his 8th catch of the year. It was a bullet. On time, on the money. Mashard Austin had the tackle. Watch it again.
He sure showed me some arm right there. That ball is a bullet. You got it right. He's got quite an arm, huh?
He does indeed. Mark it at the 27.
And guess what? Guess who's back?
And Jason Foster back in there at QB. There he goes. Cuts it back, crosses the 25, takes it to about the 23-yard line. Wallace Artis got the initial hit on him, the big defensive end for the Paladins. Also, Gary Nelson, number 20, was there.
That wasn't played too bad. There was a little hesitation to indecision, Foster, on that play a little bit. If he'd have gone outside, I think their man might have been called for holding. It was pretty close right there.
You see, we're closing in on 5 minutes here in the first half. There's Foster still in the game at quarterback, and Georgia Southern's going to burn a timeout.
He didn't like the play. I think you're seeing the future of Georgia Southern offensive play, though. They're alternating the quarterbacks.
You know, South Carolina went through much the same thing. Steve Spurrier came in as head coach. They used Blake Mitchell back there at quarterback, the conventional option, or rather a drop-back type quarterback. And then all of a sudden, Savell Newton is back there, and he's really making some production. He is the quick option guy that they used to have, and Savell Newton has played quite a bit until today. Now Blake Mitchell is back as the starter against the University of Florida after Newton went down with an injury.
Back and forth. Tendencies show up after you do that a few games, so and you defend according to the tendencies that they show.
Furman will have next week off. Georgia Southern has one game left. They'll take on Central Arkansas in Statesboro next week at 1 o'clock.
I believe that's a payback game. I think Georgia Southern went out there a year or so ago.
Here's Foster's numbers on the day. 7 rushes, 87 yards, and 83 of those in one clip when he ran for the touchdown earlier this quarter. High formation. Foster under center this time. Trying to run the option, and Wesley Bray would have none of it. The big defensive tackle from Cave Spring, Georgia, makes the tackle. Wesley Bray, Wallace Artis helped him out.
Yeah, Andrew Jones ran right by him there. Almost had him first.
They ran him right into Wesley Bray. Bray, 6'2", 282 pounds, a senior.
There we go.
So 3rd down and 6 yards to go. The ball is at the Furman 22-yard line. Short field drive that began at the 41 after Furman failed to convert on 4th down.
And Foster's out.
Foster will go out in the pass pattern. There's a quick pass and drilled at the 40. The ball picked up by Middleton. William Middleton has one man to beat and can't do it. Dragged down at the 31-yard line. Now they're going to say it's down way back at the 23-yard line. Dana Hinnett, the umpire, with the call, and I do believe that was the proper call.
The line judge made that call. He made it real quick. This is when you did wish you had the replay facilities. Oh, I don't know about that.
I tell you what.
I don't know about that.
Dana Hinnett may have misread that one a little bit. He has possession. The ball pops loose. And there's Middleton picking it up, going the other way. So a big break for Georgia Southern. It'll be 4th down after the incompletion. 4th down and 6 yards to go from the 22-yard line.
Number 48, Patrick Boland.
This will be a 40-yard field goal by Patrick Boland. Boland is 6 of 11 on the season, his longest, 39 yards. Boland gets his foot into it, and the kick is good. Boland from 40 yards out. That's his longest of the season, and he gives Georgia Southern a 10-7 lead.
Remaining in the second quarter. Your score, Georgia
So
Southern
3 minutes, 57 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
I wish we had the benefit of that replay, just not for anybody's particular favoritism, but just to get the call right for both teams.
I think I said that was Bolin. Actually, it was Bo Galvin, a junior from Watkinsville, Georgia, who knocked down the 40-yard field goal.
I just looked at
My apologies.
Here it is again, Chuck. Got the ball, one step, next step, both. His right foot stepped and his left foot stepped and hit the ground. He still had the ball.
That was definitely a fumble. So Georgia Southern will kick it off. They lead for the first time today, 10-7.
Back and Middleton's back.
Middleton and Mashawn Austin are the deep men to receive the kick. Kickoff man is Jonathan Dudley.
I won't repeat the chants for the home audience.
That's good. Garvin, that's his first field goal of the year. Here's Middleton, 3 yards deep, will bring it out. And it gets back to the 15. That's all she wrote. Good coverage on the kickoff team by Georgia Southern, and Furman will set up shop here. Renard Montford made the stop. Montford.
Furman begins first down and 10 from the 16-yard line.
Still looking for Furman to throw to the tight end.
16-yard kickoff return for Middleton. First down 10 for the Paladins. At the 16, Ronaldo Gray will go to work again. Furman 0 for 2 on fourth down conversions.
Both inside 2 yards also. And both times ran up the middle with Felton.
Gray will go from the shotgun here. As Sprague at the 30. And he gets knocked down at about the 31-yard line. Tackled on the play by Diedrich Bynum, the strong safety. And for Patrick Sprague, that's his third catch of the day.
Timing's so important on that play, Chuck, because they're still in a Georgia Southern's in a 2 deep, and that gap is there, but you got to throw it on time.
So the catch by Sprague keeps the drive alive. A gain of 13 yards on the play brings up first down, 10 yards to go. Closing in on 3 minutes here in the second quarter. Furman down by 3.
Still in that 2 deep.
Mackey split out wide to the left. Gray going to throw it over the middle, and the pass almost intercepted the receiver. Sprague fell down, and Carson Hill coming over the top almost had a diving interception.
Intended for number 5, Patrick Sprague.
Right through his hand through his stomach.
Carson Hill.
As you can see, Sprague tripped. And that cost Furman the reception. Carson Hill, true freshman out of Milledgeville, Georgia.
I know the short time before the half, but Furman's totally abandoned the running game here.
Clear pass, and drilled at the 25-yard line is Cedric Gibson. That was Ronald Wiggins, a cornerback who came up, sniffed out that play, and really buried Cedric Gibson. Watch it again.
Great hit. Great hit. Now they're if they don't make the sticks, they've got to kick again and give Georgia Southern time to run another drive or throw the ball, whatever they choose to do.
Third down, and about 15 yards to go from the 26-yard line. Empty backfield for Ronaldo Gray. And the ball batted at the line of scrimmage. That was Larry Beard, who went up to bat the ball away. It's going to bring up fourth down. Also in there was Brandon Daniel. You see him, number 98.
Georgia Southern's playing with a lot of energy right now. They've really got revved up. Their bench is alive. Their fans are alive.
They, of course, at 3 and 6 have no chance for a playoff bid, but they can ruin the Furman Paladins party with a win here today.
Now, this would be the highlight of their season if they beat Furman with all that's at stake.
Hawk slips as he punts it out of there, but gets a pretty good roll. The ball will go down at the 30-yard line. So that is a 43-yard punt for Trent Hawk of the Furman Paladins.
10 from the 30-yard line.
And they'll mark it right there.
Be interesting to see if Coach Van Gorder opens it up with Foster or goes with they're going to throw the ball. They're not going to sit on it.
Travis Clark will be in at quarterback.
Clark's back in.
One setback with Clark. That's Lamar Lewis. Lewis transferred from Florida State. There's a quick pass over the middle, complete at the 35-yard line. On the reception, it was Tim Camp. He was hit immediately by Andrew Jones.
Number 19, Tim Camp.
Georgia Southern's left tackle mugged the Furman outside linebacker.
Here's Clark, quick pass, going to Foster. Foster still on his feet, and he gets dragged down back at the 26-yard line. Tackled by Wesley Bray. Andrew Jones and William Middleton were all there, but number 94, Wesley Bray, blew up that play.
Furman has no timeouts left. They can't stop the clock and force a punt. They may get the ball back with a little time left, and I'm sure they're going to milk the clock and not snap the ball till the play clock is down to 2 seconds or so.
Third down, 13 yards to go. You see the clock turning here in the second quarter. 50 ticks remaining. Shotgun formation for Travis Clark.
They're going to milk it.
Trips to the left, one to the right. Clark pressured, throws over the middle, and the delay screen, Lamar Lewis. Lewis looking for somewhere to go. Still on his feet, 25, 30, cuts it back, 35, still on his feet. And he's going down at the 40-yard line, very close to the first down. He may be a little bit shy, but Lewis almost, with a great individual effort, picked up the first down.
Got about a foot to go.
Masharn Austin and Jeremy Blocker finally corral Lamar Lewis.
They have one timeout left. They could run the clock down to 5 seconds and throw up for grabs deep and see what happens. So they're going to let it go.
Fourth and short, final seconds will tick away.
At halftime,
As Georgia Southern goes to the dressing room with a 10-7 lead over the Paladins, getting a field goal of 40 yards on the short drive after Furman failed to convert on fourth down and gave the Eagles the ball back at the 40. They drove it in and got the field goal, and they take the lead here 10-7 at the break.
It'll be interesting playing time between Clark and Foster in the second half.
All right, let's go now to Nate Ross. He's standing by with Coach Brian Van Gorder. Nate?
You know, he's our one difference maker, and you got a chance to see that on that one play, long run.
Not only that, the defense on their fourth down a couple times really came up tough up the middle just to stop their big man Felton.
Defense has been outstanding the whole first half. You know, they did a good job on the one drive and threw a wheel route that we covered real well. Just a good pass, good catch.
Anything special adjustment second half or just kind of same old thing?
No, I think we've got to just keep playing good, solid defense. And, you know, we're trying to find our way offensively with a lot of different things, and that's just where we are right now.
All right, Coach, best of luck second half.
Thanks,
Let's Brian.
We go to break
right now, second half, back upstairs.
All right, Nate, we're at halftime here. Furman Paladins trailing Georgia Southern at Paladin Stadium. 10-7 is your score. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast Sports. Welcome back to Paladin Stadium. Just about set to go here with a second half kickoff. Furman will get the football first. They won the toss, deferred to the second half, and of course, Paladins trailing here 10-7. Oh boy. Kickoff man for Georgia Southern is Jonathan Dudley, who was their field goal kicker last year. Okay. That's William Middleton, who's deep to receive. for the Furman Paladins. He's out of the Marist School in Atlanta, Georgia. So many Georgia players on this Furman team, and of course that makes this game extra special. Kickoff comes down to Middleton at the goal line. And he gets back to the 17-yard line, and that's all.
He hasn't been able to get to the 20 yet, and he had to take a knee on one of them.
David Willingham makes the stop, a backup linebacker for Georgia Southern. And it will be first down, 10 yards to go. Here's the first half numbers on Ronaldo Gray. He's 9 of 18 for 120 yards and 1 touchdown.
You know, as usual, Chuck, this first series, the third quarter, is very important. And Furman needs to move the ball and get good field position, set things up.
Now they're going to have to kick it over because Georgia Southern was offsides on the kickoff. That'll drive a coach nuts.
Especially when it's brought back inside the 20.
Rushing yardage pretty much even. Georgia Southern has 87, 83 of those on one carry. And Furman has 71 yards rushing. Pass yards, Georgia Southern has 34 yards passing. And Furman has 120. You okay, Walt? All right.
My headpiece there.
All right, well, we're going to kick it again. Mashar Austin deep with William Middleton. They stand at the 6-yard line.
Oh, little squib kick.
Knuckleballer, Middleton at the 15. Outside he goes, and out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So that penalty, very basic, fundamental mistake, really cost Georgia Southern.
That's a great break for Furman. They've got decent field position now to start the third quarter, which is an all-important quarter. And the momentum's at stake right here, I believe.
Brandon Eccles, a defensive back, makes the stop. Put it at the 39-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go, Paladins. Jerome Felton in the game at fullback. Gibson is your tailback. Cedric Gibson. Ronaldo Gray under center. Toss sweep, and here's Gibson. And he got whammed at the 42-yard line, coming up to make the play. It was Diedrich Bynum, and still on the ground is Gibson. Just listen to the crack on this, Walt.
I'll tell you what, he took a hit. Probably got the wind knocked out of him. Oh, it's head-to-head contact. In the NFL, that's a 15-yard penalty, helmet to helmet.
That was John Moring who hit Gibson, and you can say, as you can see, he's still shaking out the cobwebs.
He took a hit. I mean, the replay showed that helmet to helmet hit.
I wonder if we can get the audio on that.
I hope he's all right. They need him.
Bill Hedrick, the trainer for the Paladins. Now in the game, Stephon LaFrance out of the shotgun on 2nd and 7. Here's the option, and here's LaFrance. LaFrance bounces outside, and he's down at the 35-yard line.
Well, that showed me something right there. A little speed by LaFrance. Great executed play.
That was a great block by Justin Stepp on the corner. Now watch this again, Walt.
Exactly. He's just mirroring them and not letting them penetrate in to get across the line of scrimmage and force that pitch deeper.
They mark it at the 37-yard line. So a 22-yard gain for Stephon LaFrance. He's another Georgian.
Little I formation there.
There's LaFrance up the middle. And he spins ahead down to the 26-yard line. Rico Zachary and Carson Hill, two defensive backs, makes the stop.
There's a fresh set of legs right there in LaFrance.
LaFrance has some size, too. He's 6'2", 219 pounds. Redshirt freshman out of Fairburn, Georgia. He's been injured a couple of games, just came back. He was out for a couple of weeks with an injured ankle.
Well, he looks awful quick in those last two runs.
Ball at the 27-yard line. That was a gain of 11 yards on the play. Brings up first down and 10 yards to go. And
we got an injury right there.
Thornburg comes out. That's Andrew Thornburg, the left guard, comes to the sidelines. He's replaced in there by Tyler Haynes. Haynes, big kid, 6'2", 296, redshirt freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama. Shotgun formation, wideouts either side. And a handoff to Felton. Felton bowls across the 25 down to the 22-yard line. On the tackle, it was Larry Beard, the defensive end. But not before a nice positive gain on first down by Jerome Felton. You see him, number 45.
They have a lot more luck with that running inside with Felton when they have wideout split and not a closed formation like they did in short yardage twice.
Ball at the 22, a gain of 4 yards on the play, maybe 5, about 4.5, I guess.
They've been running the same play from this formation. Let's see if they stay with it. Yes,
and off going to Stephon LaFrance. He crosses the 20 down to the 19-yard line. Furman trailing in this game, looking to get things at least even. They're in Scott Beckler territory now. Here's a handoff to LaFrance. And a hit by Jason Earwood, the middle linebacker. Number 52, John Mowring, makes another stop as well.
They're in this iffy situation now. They make the sticks, or do they go for it in 4th and short?
Third down. And a long 2 yards to go. Stephon LaFrance now 3 carries for 34 yards on the day.
Well, they've got 8 men in the box there against them.
There's a handoff. Belt breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, takes it across the 15 down to about the 11. Diedrich Bynum, the strong safety, made the tackle. And slow to get up is Shaheen Solomon.
I see, Chuck, they took this wider now. It wasn't inside the guard. It was on the outside shoulder of the tackle.
Felton gets it rolling, picks up 7 yards on the play. It's 1st and 10 at the Georgia Southern 12-yard line. You see Felton and his numbers on the day.
Gets step in the slot out there, high formation.
Twins to the left. Stephon LaFrance, little stutter step, darts inside and takes it across the 10 down to about the 7.5.
He hits that seam pretty quick.
Jason Earwood, the middle linebacker, was there.
How quick he gets up inside there. Nice cut.
Carson Hill was also there for Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern's putting some pretty good hits on him out there, though.
The player down and injured is Jason Earwood, who was in on that last tackle, their middle linebacker. Appears to have injured his right arm.
He's been a pretty active player inside the tackles today. I don't know their backup, if he's as good as him or not, but they're going to miss him if he can't continue.
Joel Bell, the big left tackle for Furman, 6'7", 317 pounds, came over and blew up Shaheen Solomon, and I think he knocked him into Earwood and injured him.
6'7", 307. That was 3 of me when I played.
When it comes to real estate, it's the Prudential C-Dan Joyner Realtors.
Sounded good. We'll take a break here. 11:24 remaining in the third. Furman trailing, but threatening to score here in the third quarter. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Paladins cheerleaders looking on. Their favorite team threatening to score here. It's 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Ball at the 8-yard line. Ronaldo Gray. New middle linebacker after the injury to Earwood is David Lewis. He wears number 53. Shotgun formation. And here's Gray, darting inside. Goes inside the 5 to the 2.5-yard line. Ronaldo Gray was tackled by David Lewis, who just came into the game. So that's going to be close to a first down, Walt.
He looks like about a foot short. They're going to bring the sticks out, I believe. He's a foot short.
All right, we're going to hold you to that now. Joining us in the booth is Furman Athletic Director Gary Clark. And Gary, this has been a great, probably a little closer than the Furman faithful would like, but this has been a great game.
It has been a great game. Both teams a little sluggish at times, but also looking well-oiled, and hopefully the Paladins are ready to go into the end zone here.
Here's that double slot offense that Georgia Tech used to run, and there is Felton. He gets knocked down behind the line of scrimmage by Brandon Daniel, number 98. Big Brandon Daniel, 6'3", 301 pounds, got the penetration.
They're not having any gap control out there. You got to block worst first, and worst first is your inside gap. And they didn't close down on the left side. They allowed penetration.
So it brings up 4th down and 1 yard to go. Loss of a yard for Felton. And here's a 21-yard field goal attempt coming up for Scott Beckler. The holder is Jordan Sorrell. Kick is on the way, and the kick is good. The 21-yarder by Beckler evens it up at 10 apiece.
The red zone inside the 5 has not been kind to Furman today.
Trust me, they're happy to be even in the game right
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a great start of the third quarter.
That drive covered 57 yards on 10 plays, ate 4 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock to open the third quarter here.
And how we see if Georgia Southern comes back and answers with that duo of Clark and Foster.
I thought the key to that entire drive happened on a play that didn't even count, that kickoff, where the Georgia Southern player was offsides, enabled Furman to get another shot. So instead of starting inside their own 20, they started at the 39, and that enabled them to get good field position and some points out of that drive.
One of the 5 don'ts of the kicking game. The first one is don't be offside.
Dr. Gary Cluck, I know it's a busy time around Furman in the Southern Conference. The athletic directors have been meeting, and I know there's a lot on the agenda.
There is. Our meetings start Monday and Tuesday this next week, and we'll be talking about a lot of things going into the spring and then into the fall next year.
Beckler has it teed up, ready to kick it off. And the kick is going to come down to Marquise Maynard. Maynard still on his feet, crosses 20, gets out to the 24-yard line where he's knocked down, tackled by Masharon Austin.
Returned by
Austin
number
was there
Marquise Maynard.
At the 24.
Tackled by number 18, Masharon Austin.
A little gimpy here on number 61 for Furman.
Georgia Southern takes over first down. And
Gary, I know basketball is just around the corner. And, of course, a little different look on the divisions this year.
There is. In fact, Charleston Greensboro picked to win. The Paladins opened up their season today with a win over Charleston Southern on the men's side.
Here's Foster, the quarterback.
Counter option again.
And he got tripped up by Andrew Jones.
Carried by number 14,
that was the
Foster.
play that he ran 83 yards for and a touchdown back in the second quarter. But that time, Jones just got an ankle. Gary, you watched the game today as Furman won over Charleston Southern 88-69 to open the season, begin the coaching career of Jeff Jackson here. And what were your thoughts?
We're very pleased. I think Coach Jackson has come in and revamped the offense a little bit, and it's evident we're getting good shots. We've got guys who are getting open. We got more inside play on offense, so we're excited.
Here's Lamar Lewis. He finds the seam, takes it across the 40 out to the 47-yard line. On the tackle, it was Andrew Thacker and Jeremy Blocker, the two safeties for Furman, but that gives Georgia Southern a first down at the 48-yard line.
Coming right back and answering back. That's what good football teams do. I've seen Georgia Southern play twice this year, and this is the best I've seen them look. They're together more right now than they were previously. I saw them against Wofford and against the Citadel.
So first down, 10 yards to go. That was a 20-yard gain for Lamar Lewis. Here's Foster trying to get outside, and Thacker closes on him, knocks him out of bounds in Furman territory at the 45.5-yard line. Gary, I know that guard play dominates basketball in the Southern Conference, and Furman has a trio of pretty good guards at J.D. Jones, Eric Webb, who runs the team at the point this year, and Robbie Bostain, who had 26 points this afternoon against Charleston Southern. That trio of veteran guards really leaves Furman and Jeff Jackson in good stead.
It does, and as you said, Robbie Bostain, a great game this afternoon, doing a few things differently. They posted him up a little more, take advantage of his size inside.
Here's Foster again, and he just about broke that when Gary Nelson got him by the ankle as he went went by, I should say, and knocked him down at the 41-yard line. Let's go to Nate Ross on the sidelines now. He's got an injury update on Jason Earwood.
Yeah, Jason Earwood, the young man who got hurt earlier. It was his right elbow. All the trainers, all the doctors looked at him, and all he kept doing is nodding, yes, I'm okay. He probably stung it, maybe hyperextended it, but he probably will be back in the football game. He's ready to roll.
All right, Nate, thank you very much. Jason Foster now 11 carries on the day for 102 yards and 1 touchdown. But remember, 83 of those yards came on 1 carry.
So far, this is a 2-possession half Furman first, and now Georgia Southern driving.
We're halfway through the third quarter. Here's Foster running that option. And he splits some defenders, crosses the 35, takes it down to the 31-yard line where he's knocked down. Tackled by Jeremy Blocker. He is so quick on the corner.
Well, he had a lead blocker right in front of him, open up that gap. They're creating a seam out there off their right side, and Furman hasn't adjusted to it at this point.
Good lead block by Dusty Reddick, the fullback, who took on Gary Nelson, that strong side linebacker. And that was the lead block that you were talking about that enabled Foster to run.
They also seem to be running away from Ravenel's side quite a bit. I might too.
Ball at the 31. Flag is down. Chris Covington got the football. He's in the game at running back now.
I think we had movement in Georgia Southern side. Either movement or...
Snap. Ball start. Offense. Number 81. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Blake Covington, my spotter, all over that. Hal Scarborough, the tight end, got a little early start. So they back it up 5 yards. It's going to be second down, about 5 to go now from the 36.5-yard line.
Georgia Southern brought some people to this game, Chuck. They've got their big band and a lot of fans.
Well, they've seen a good one so far.
They sure have.
10-10. We play midway through the third quarter.
You get your money's worth at a lot of Citadel football, or not Citadel, that's a Freudian slip, a Southern Conference football game.
There's Covington. In the middle he goes. Spins. Takes it down to the 31-yard line. Close to the first down. Jeremy Blocker and Ravenel got the stop on Chris Covington.
Well, Andrew Jones ran right by the ball carrier there in the backfield. He had a chance to stop that play.
That was a good seal down block by the center, Lance Wayne, who created that hole. He blocked down on
another impressive drive.
Justin Brown. And there's Covington. He's shaken up a little bit. He may have gotten a finger in the eye.
Let's see what Foster does here. He's probably going to go in the half of it.
There's a fumble on the play. Ball on the ground. Furman will come up with it. Jeremy Blocker on it for the Furman Paladins. That is a huge turnover and a bad handoff going to Lamar Lewis from Foster.
I'll tell you, that's a tough one. Did all that work for 5 minutes.
Number 25, Jeremy Blocker. Watch it again. Went off his knee, and it was off to the races. Blocker all over it.
I'll tell you what, the ball carrier's eyes were up. They weren't anywhere near looking where that ball was, and his elbow again wasn't up, similar to Felton's on one of his fumbles.
Senior co-captain Jeremy Blocker. That's a great point, Walt.
He didn't give the quarterback a pocket to put the ball in.
2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right for Furman. Shotgun formation for Ronaldo Gray. And trying to get a little misty here. There's a handoff going to Gibson, back in the lineup. 35, 40. Here's Gibson. In Georgia Southern territory. Cuts it back. Finally dragged down by Rico Zachary. The free safety saved a touchdown. Cedric Gibson got knocked cuckoo a couple of minutes ago, went out of the lineup, came back, and a huge run has Furman in business at the 25-yard line.
You know, I had an earlier game with you. I called him Galloping Gillespie, and I don't know if he likes that or not, but he sure looked the part right there.
Who is Galloping Gillespie?
Right there. You're looking at it on the screen. That's Cedric.
Cedric Gibson goes inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. That was a gain of 48 yards on the carry for Gibson.
Sudden change is big in football, and this certainly is sudden change.
Felton in the middle, not much there. Got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. T.J. Watkins, the nose man, made the stop.
Justin Stepp is downfield 15 yards blocking the safety man and trying to stay with him even as the ball carrier's down. And again, there's a little thing going on with he and one of the safeties back there who just talked to the official. Justin needs to be careful downfield, especially when the whistle's blowing.
That's him, number 7, Justin Stepp, the senior out of Pelion, South Carolina. Wideouts either side, shotgun formation. Here's the option. Quick pitch going to Stephon LaFrance. 26, he lost a yard. Thrown backward. It's going to be 3rd down and 11 here. Larry Beard and John Mooring made the stop. Mooring's having a huge day. And Gary Clark, I know that This is a big day for Coach Bobby Lamb in more ways than one. He's got, 200 prospects on campus here to watch this game today.
Huge afternoon for him. As you said, they're starting to zero in on the prospects for this coming year. Of course, signing period for football is in February, and so they're working hard at it.
All right, here's a big play. 3rd down, 11 yards to go from the 26-yard line. 10-10 game. Furman trying to even it out. They've got 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right in an empty backfield for Gray. And here comes Georgia Southern open for business. Pass underneath. Gets knocked down at the 22 after a gain of only about 4 or 5. Tackled by John Mooring. And it's going to bring up 4th down and long. And here comes Scott Beckler once again.
Well, I think this is in his range. Pre-game, I was watching him kick a little bit, and he's certainly in range.
Last Saturday, he had a career-best 49-yard field goal at Elon.
He's got a little bit of a tough angle, but for a right-footed kicker, that's not a bad angle. It would be worse if he were on the right hash.
This will be a 37-yard attempt. Jordan Saul is the holder. Kick is on the way, and the kick is good! Beckler from 37 gives Furman the lead, 13-10. We'll take a break. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in quarter number 3. Furman back on top, 13-10. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Furman Paladins back on top after a 37-yard field goal by that man, Scott Beckler, number 29, a junior out of Anderson, South Carolina. Ronnie Wiggins, Marquise Maynard, deep to receive for Georgia Southern. And the kick run down by Maynard. It will go out of bounds and come out to the 35-yard line. So that's a breakdown on special teams that you don't need.
Another mistake in a kicking game. Gives them great field position. I can't stress enough the importance of the kicking game. When I was young, the head coach I worked for at a college in Ohio, he coached the special teams himself. Nobody else.
There's the scoring drive, 52 yards in 5 plays, culminated by the 37-yard field goal by Scott Beckler. Ricky Jones in the game now at defensive tackle for the Paladins.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball in place at the 35. First down.
This game has been some key turnovers throughout, and the big fumble by Georgia Southern allowed Furman to put a couple of field goals on the board.
Well, you can see Furman knows the importance of the game, and Georgia Southern's given it everything they have. They're playing with a lot of pride.
Here's Foster. Jason Foster, and he gets gang tackled out of bounds on the sideline. There was Wallace Artis.
Jason Foster on the keeper.
And Roy Ravenel, the 2 defensive ends, met at Jason Foster.
Wallace Artis.
They were open for business. Andrew Thacker was also there.
Foster's in the middle of all that Furman sideline there. He looked like
he's like a water bug.
Yeah, he looked like Little League football compared to the size of the guys he was standing under when he got up. I'll tell you what, he's an athlete I'd sure like to have on my team.
No, he's a game breaker. 2 right, 2 left, shotgun formation. Lamar Lewis is set back beside Jason Foster. Furman with a 4-down lineman.
They keep shifting, they're moving over to the strong side, and that's where he's been running, and he's just getting to the corner. Not that time.
That's a great play by Austin Holmes, who takes him out of bounds on the far sideline. And there's a Georgia Southern Eagle down and shaken up on the play. Austin Holmes got over there. He closed very quickly. Rakori Green, the left guard, is the injured Eagle. Watch this. Watch this close by Austin Holmes. Good
there was
job.
A little shirt tug there too. Somebody grabbed his shirt and he still got away and made the play.
Holmes is shaken up. We'll take a break and come back. Furman leading Georgia Southern here 13-10 late in the 3rd quarter. You're watching CSS. It's your source for sports in the Southeast. McCrory Green helped to the sidelines. As the Furman fans look on, there's McCrory Green. Looked like he suffered some sort of a cramp, a leg injury. John Castleberry in the game now at defensive back. He's wearing number 3. Here's Foster and his numbers on the day. 83-yard touchdown run, the longest in history by an opponent here at Paladin Stadium.
It's a big play for both
Black
teams.
in there at quarterback now, and he throws it behind the intended receiver. Incomplete. Middleton had the coverage on Tim Camp, but the ball thrown by Clark was behind Camp, so it brings up 4th down.
But it was a catchable ball. He got both hands on it right there. A little long for him, I'd say, a little wide.
If he had glue on his hands, he would have caught that.
Yeah, that's super glue.
What's that old stuff Fred Bolitnikoff used to use?
Oh, yeah.
That gunk?
Stuff they used to put on baseball gloves.
Yeah, you could throw it, stick them. There you go. He used to throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball at Bolitnikoff, and he'd catch it barehanded.
Tell you what, number 11 had to go get 54 from the bench to line up on this punt. Somebody's asleep on the Furman sideline.
Punter is Dan Jordan. And the snap from Joey Tuttle's a good one. And here's Justin Stepp, and he got bowled. Back at the 22-yard line.
Middleton missed that block there and keeping him off of the receiver.
On the tackle, it was Lance Turner, number 39.
Dustin's pretty gutsy to not call for a fair catch there.
Getting late in the 3rd quarter, Furman with a big possession here. Paladins lead it 13-10. 2 third-quarter field goals by Scott Beckler.
No lead is safe at 3 points with these two teams.
That punt was 38 yards for Jordan. And Furman goes to work at its own 25-yard line. Stephon LaFrance in the game at running back. Shotgun formation. Here's LaFrance. Up, play action, and with the ball is Ronaldo Gray as he faked the handoff. The ball went to the ground, and Ronaldo Gray was there to cover it. Boy, that would have been a huge turnover. There it goes.
I don't understand
Gray,
that.
Johnny on the spot jumps on it. Brandon Daniel jumped on Gray. So loss of 4 yards on the play brings up 2nd down and 14 yards to go. Bobby Lamb disenchanted with that play.
If that should have been a cheap fake in there, or if the ball should have been in the pocket again, the elbow was down, the ball hit the elbow.
Jerome Felton in the game now at fullback. And the shotgun package for Ronaldo Gray. Play action. Gray going to step up and run. And he underhands a pass ahead to Felton, but it's incomplete. That's going to save Furman about 2 yards. Gray was almost back to the line of scrimmage. Threw it underhanded, and it came in short. Watch this again.
Well, they called him down, and this is a very, very dangerous thing to do.
Well, he wasn't down, but John Moring had the tackle on Gray.
It was ill-advised in case.
I think they called that an incomplete pass. They did not call him down.
Yeah, you're right.
Trips to the right, 2 to the left, empty backfield, Ronaldo Gray.
You got to come off the corner up top. No, it's just a 4-man rush.
There's a pressure and sack back at the 12-yard line by Brandon Daniel, Ronaldo Gray. Brandon Daniel fired in there, as you said, just a 4-man rush, and Daniel was able to beat his man on the right side there and come on the loop and get Gray by the ankle. Gray just does not have the speed with that injured ankle that he had earlier in the season at North Carolina, and he is down and injured right now.
I believe he beat Joel Bell out there on the pass rush.
That's going to bring Jordan Sorrells into the game, perhaps. Sorrells, the backup, whose father, Tim Sorrells, is the offensive coordinator here at Furman.
And I wonder what Mrs. Sorrells is doing when her son goes in. She gets nervous like most mothers.
Yeah, she does. He's done it a couple of times, come off the bench to rally Furman to victory. Let's go down to Nate Ross now on the sidelines. Nate?
Guys, I had a great angle for that play. He had Stepp over the middle, and just as he cocked his arm, Stepp tripped and fell down. Obviously, Ronaldo had to hold on to the ball, and then he got tackled and rolled over, and I believe he rolled that same ankle. As you can see, he's hurting coming off the field a little bit. He's not even putting any weight on it, so we'll see if we can find out what happened. But He just held on to the ball rather than throwing it away, and he paid the price.
Yeah, you're right. That's the same ankle that he's injured twice this season. The last time was at Coastal Carolina, a game that Nate and I did back in early October.
Well, that's tough for a young man. Anytime the player has to have a chronic ankle, those things just don't go away easily.
So now Trent Hawk is on to punt it away. Jason Foster, the deep man, standing at his own 50-yard line. And there's a flag. Motion there by the...
That doesn't help. They're going to get great field position to start with. Fortunately, the wind has died down.
Andrew Thacker was a man in motion. Where's number 8?
Well, they called encroachment on Georgia Southern, looks like.
Delay. Defense. Disconcerting signal. 5 yards. Still 4th down.
Well, they must be mimicking the starting count of the signal.
Hawk with a punt. This is returnable. Foster will take it at the 40. Makes the first man miss. And here we go. Crosses the 45 down to the 44-yard line.
I can say one more time, Chuck, you cannot go full tilt at that young man. You got to break down on him and make him dance a little bit so you get a shot at him.
The tackle on the play was made by J.J. Mars, the defensive end.
And there was no hang time on that punt. I mean, it got there quick, so he's so dangerous back there.
Let's get an update on the injury to Ronaldo Gray now. Downstairs we go to Nate Ross.
Well, we got good news and bad news. The bad news is you look at Ronaldo's face, and he looks like he's not going to play again. But trainer took out the tape, took off the old tape. He's retaping it again. He's talking with Coach Lamb. He looks like he's going to go back, but he's a tough kid.
And Dr. looking on there with Phil Hedrick.
That's the quarter.
So the quarter, number 3, is in the books. We go to the 4th quarter. Still anybody's game here. Georgia Southern and Furman doing battle. In Greenville, South Carolina, your score, Paladins 13, Eagles 10 on CSS, your source for Southeast Sports. Fourth quarter begins as Furman battles the Georgia Southern Eagles. Paladins up 13-10. So great field position here at the Paladins' 44-yard line for Georgia Southern. Jason Foster has gone most of the way at quarterback. Hands it off to Lamar Lewis. Lewis takes it to the 40, a gain of 4 yards on the play. Tackled by Wallace Artis, the defensive end.
Tackled by 55, Wallace Artis.
The outside linebackers are so concentrating now on Foster. They're not getting the support that they were earlier in the game on the inside.
So 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Georgia Southern and Furman have only been playing since 1985, but they've had some doozies over the years. Here's Foster, and the quick pitch going outside. That's Tim Camp, and Camp's going to get knocked down after a couple of yards. Andrew Thacker and Hunter Twitty, the middle linebacker, were there.
That was good defensive pursuit right there by number 32, Chuck. I don't have his name handy right here.
Let's go back to Nate Ross now on the sidelines.
Well, guys, I said it was good and bad. It looks like it's bad. They taped it up again, Ronaldo Gray's ankle, but they taped it up with a giant ice pack. He and Jordan Sorrells just hugged each other on the sideline, and I'm sure he said to him, Jordan, it's up to you, buddy. Get us in the playoffs. He's done.
Jordan Sorrells has manufactured a couple of huge comebacks, most notably against Jacksonville State and against Chattanooga in overtime. Here's Foster. Foster has the first down and more. Knocked out of bounds inside the 30 at about the 27-yard line by Jeremy Blocker.
They have run that counter option at least 5 or 6 times now with him. He steps one way, does a reverse pivot, and comes back this side. That backside end defensive end outside backer has to stay home.
Foster is not very big. He's 5'9", 168 pounds, and this one may be coming back. Nope, no flag on the play. There goes Foster the other way. He ran around Andrew Thacker and picked up about 3 or 4 yards inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line. Jeremy Blocker got the tackle, number 25.
He used that half of the stiff arm and to pull that defensive guy away. That was a good move by Foster. He's so dangerous in space out there. Once he gets to the corner, anything can happen.
Foster now 127 yards on 16 carries and 1 touchdown. Mark it at the 23-yard line. Furman up by 3, but Georgia Southern driving. Handoff goes to Lewis. Lewis gets back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more. Gary Nelson, the strong side linebacker, along with Justin Brown, made the stop.
Andrew Jones missed him in the backfield again. Andrew's got to get a little under control. He's running by the ball carrier. That's 2 or 3 times he's done that.
Another Georgia Southern third down.
Third down, 5 yards to go. Big play here for the Eagles.
Well, they're in
Into the
4 down.
lineup comes Travis Clark. He'll run at quarterback. They split Foster out in the slot on the left side. They've got 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Now Foster motions over on the right side. Straight drop, throws underneath, pass complete to Jason Foster at about the 19-yard line. It's going to be about a yard or so shy of the first down marker. Holmes and Austin combine on the stop.
Well, they've got to kick a field goal. That's what they're going to do, I would believe. It's 4th and a long one.
Mashard Austin, I should say, and Austin Holmes combine on the tackle, and here we go. 4th down, a yard to go. Georgia Southern with nothing to gain, nothing to lose in this game. So they're going for the bundle right here on 4th down. They have little Foster in there at quarterback. Wideouts go either side. I formation, and Foster will call timeout.
He didn't like the play. He probably liked the effort of going for it, but he didn't like the play.
We'll take a break. 11:31 left. Furman 13, Georgia Southern 10. A big 4th down play coming up on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Part of 13,287. Looking on at this one as Furman battles Georgia Southern. Great rivalry, and this one with a lot on the line for the Furman Paladins. Georgia Southern coming out on 4th down. They have a long one to go for a first down at the Furman 20-yard line. Jason Foster, the quarterback. Here's that option play once again. Foster hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's not going to get there. Down he goes. On the play, it was Clifton Dortch. Dortch, another Georgian, the weak side linebacker, came up to make the stop, and the ball will go over to the Furman Paladins. That was the first 4th down attempt for Georgia Southern. They come up empty.
Well, that was great by the Furman defensive staff because they outguessed. That's exactly what you and I were talking about at the timeout. He ran a quarterback sweep with some lead blockers and figuring he could find squirm room and get in there for the first down.
Andrew Jones also got penetration. He got a piece of Foster, and down he went. So here comes Furman. There's still a ton of time left in this game. Dortch celebrating on the sidelines. He's a junior out of Chamblee High School in Georgia.
And Sorrell's a quarterback now. It's his first shot.
He's more of a drop-back passer. Here's a reverse. R.J. Webb going the other way. Webb bounces outside, looking for running room, knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5 yards for R.J. Webb. Jordan Sorrells with a back block. Brandon Jackson got the tackle, but did you see the quarterback, Jordan Sorrells, came back, tried to make the block. Watch
right?
this.
Yes, sir, right there. Well, he ran out of the screen. I was just about to say to you, they're going to run something safe and normal for Sorrells to get settled down, and they come out and run a double reverse.
Jordan Sorrells on the year, 64 for 110, 816 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Step in motion and back.
This is Gibson. He gets loose, picks up the first down, out to the 34-yard line. Cedric Gibson, tackled by Rico Zachary. Great second effort by Gibson.
Bounced right off. They hit him in the thighs. He bounced right off of him. There you go.
Sorrells, I think I said he had 2 touchdown passes. He has 4, and 2 of those were game winners. One against Jacksonville State in the opening game of the season, and the other 3 weeks ago against Chattanooga here at Paladin Stadium in double overtime.
Well, when your father's a coach and has played the game, you know, that's usually good stock for football. If you have a son interested in the sport and been around it all his life, he's probably a pretty savvy young man.
Gibson now with 80 yards on 10 carries. First down 10 at the 34, and that ball is on the ground. Gibson goes back, tries to cover it up. That was not a good pitch. That actually hit one of the defenders. Jordan Sorrells got the recovery, or was it Gibson? Gibson got the recovery, and the ball hit one of the defenders. Watch this.
Georgia Southern.
Hello, that was Mooring who was in there, and Gibson comes up with it. He saves the day for Furman, but they have second down now and about 2 miles to go.
They could have picked that up and run in for a touchdown, and not too hard of way there. I'll tell you, Mooring is as good a linebacker as I've seen in this league. And
Gibson has an injured hand as he went after the football. So it's second down and 31 yards to go.
That's your routine 2nd and 31, huh?
LaFrance in there, and he gets a football right up the middle. Stephon LaFrance across 20 out to the 22.
Well, they got a little breathing room now, at least. Now it's only 2nd and 20.
Gain of 9 yards on the play. You see Stephon LaFrance.
Tackled by number 90, Jerry Barker.
Jerry Barker, the nose man, made the stop.
You got to be careful with this next play, and then if you don't make the sticks, you got to kick and try to get good field position.
Furman leading, but facing third down and about 21. Handoff on the draw play. This is LaFrance again. Stephon LaFrance gets out across the 20 to about the 23. Here comes a punt team. Tackled on the play by Watkins and Daniel, those 2 defensive linemen.
I'd like to put a speedometer on Mooring's feet and see how many miles he's run around today from tackle to tackle, sideline to sideline. He was in on that play.
Trent Hawk, the freshman from Norcross, Georgia, stands in. He has punted her 3 times today and averaged 39.3 yards per punt. Jason Foster is deep to receive. Foster averages only 7 yards per punt. This is a high floater.
Got a little more hang time, and he had to call for a fair catch, and he needed that very badly.
Brought to you by Fat Dogs. Catch made by Foster, and it's going to be first down 10 for Georgia Southern at the 35-yard line. We'll take a break. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left. Still anybody's game. You're watching TSN. Nighttime view of the Furman Chapel here at Paladin Stadium. Furman leading Georgia Southern 13-10, but Georgia Southern football first down, 10 yards to go at their own 35-yard line.
High formation here.
Clark on the play action, throws it over the middle, and the ball is knocked away from Jeremy Blocker. That was intended for Tim Camp, and Blocker had it, and then could not come down with it. So second down and 10 yards to go.
What a game changer that would have been. There you go.
And Camp had to turn defensive back momentarily, knocked it away from Blocker.
That was right to him. I mean, right to him. He was probably so surprised it was right to him.
Second down, 10 at the 35-yard line. Foster in at quarterback. There's the keeper, and he takes it across the 35 out to about the 40-yard line. Clifton Dortch made the stop.
Well, there was a lot of space there. He made a nice tackle to save it. Foster would have been off to the races there.
Dortch out of the lineup, and he is replaced in there by Brandon Williams, a weak side linebacker. It was Dortch who made that big fourth down stop on Foster just a couple of minutes ago. Third down and 5 yards to go. Masharon Austin comes into the lineup now as Furman puts a nickel back in and takes out Gary Nelson, the strong side linebacker. Paladins will go with 4 down linemen.
And Clark's back in, Chuck.
Travis Clark at quarterback out of the shotgun. Great drop, throws underneath, and the ball dropped by Lamar Lewis at the 42. That is huge. Brings up 4th down and 5 yards to go. Austin Holmes had the coverage, and I don't think that Lamar Lewis would have had enough yardage for the first down. Good job by Holmes.
He was about 4 yards shy.
He heard footsteps, I think. So Justin Stepp enters the game for Furman, standing at his own 25-yard line. That's Austin Holmes from the Bowl School in Jacksonville.
This field position is critical for both teams at this point.
Dan Jordan to punt it away.
Oh, beautiful kick.
That's a boomer.
High and deep.
At the 10-yard line, here's Stepp. And it gets back to the 20-yard line. Fans looking for a face mask, but it appears he got collared and thrown to the turf. We'll take a break. 7 minutes, 3 seconds left. Still, Furman 13, Georgia Southern 10. It's college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Coming up on CSS, it's Louisiana Monroe against Florida International. That's next on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Elsewhere in the Southern Conference today, Appalachian State finishes at 7-0 as they defeat Western Carolina 24-2. Western Carolina finishes 0-7 in the league, and Appalachian State goes to 7-0, and the Mountaineers win the Old Mountain Jug.
Georgia Southern's still net too deep, but I think Charles is going to be looking to run the ball, not pass it down in.
Charles out of the shotgun. Gives it off to Cedric Gibson, who gets rounded up and thrown to the turf by Larry Beard, the defensive end. That went nowhere. And the clock is crawling. And if you're watching and cheering for the Furman Paladins, it's still 6 minutes and 37 seconds. And as is the usual case when these two teams play, it comes right down to the wire.
Right, and you don't want to be running lateral this late in the game with the clock being a factor in this thing. If there's nothing there, take your no gain and try to run vertical.
Brian Van Gorder looking on from the Georgia Southern sideline. He's had a tough go of it, starting with the loss of one of his best football players, Teddy Kraft, the wide receiver and punt returner, killed in a motorcycle accident back in July. Here's Sorrells, the lefty, throws off his back foot, and it's caught by Brad Bell at the 24-yard line. Brad Bell, the tight end. They finally throw it to the tight end. Well, John Boring made the stop.
I've been waiting for that all day. Coach Lamb promised me he was going to run a play off the tight end that he ran when he was playing, and I haven't seen it yet. And it was to the tight end. It was a different play, though.
Two receivers left, one down to the right. Shotgun package again for Sorrells. Gibson is your setback. He's out of the backfield. And the fade pass is almost intercepted. Intended for R.J. Webb, and Carson Hill almost had the pick. Webb knocked it away from him. That was huge.
A lot of contact on the wide receiver coming down this sideline, though.
So 3 and out for the Paladins. They'll have to punt it again. That was not a good throw because Carson Hill had the inside position on the receiver.
That was very dangerous.
Trent Hawk.
And again, the threat of Foster back there. You got to get down and cover, and you got to get some hang time on this punt.
Hawk gets his foot into it.
No, that's a
line.
Well, he got away with it.
And the ball will roll inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It got by Jason Foster. And Hawk, boy, he comes out smelling like a rose on that one.
Oh, my God. That's like no when you're playing golf, hits a tree and comes back in play. But if that would have been straight, that would have given Foster a lot of room to run.
Yeah, that was like, it'll be in the paper tomorrow, a 58-yard boomer. And that's what it goes down as, a 58-yard punt and no return for Trent Hawk.
That's great. I mean, for him, because if Foster gets his hands on the ball, you just don't want that to happen in the open field.
So the ball inside the Georgia Southern 20-yard line. Little Jason Foster, the quarterback, hands it off to the running back, Lewis, and he gets out across the 25 to about the 29-yard line. That would be a gain of 11 yards.
They got close to a first down.
Trent Hawk, that's a career long for him, 58 yards. His previous long had been 47. Tackle on the play is made by Andrew Jones and Austin Holmes.
Well, you can't give up 10 yards a chunk now. I mean, Georgia Southern's not dead by any means.
Gain of 11 yards on the play. First down, 10, ball at the 29. 4 minutes, 37 seconds left.
Game is like we all thought it would be, a typical Georgia Southern Furman football game.
And Georgia Southern gets up and gets over the football before the clock starts. There's play action. Here's Foster. And runs around Wallace Artis, gets outside. William Middleton goes over to knock him out of bounds at about the 37-yard line.
Ravenel didn't stay home out there. He got suckered inside just a couple steps and he didn't have...
That was not Ravenel. That was Wallace Artis.
55.
So they mark it at the 37-yard line. It's going to be second down and 1.
I apologize to Mr. Ravenel. You're right.
2 wide outs to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun package. Lewis back there with Jason Foster. There he goes again. Foster, Brandon Williams misses him. Now he gets going down the far sidelines, knocked out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. A couple people had a shot at him, but come up empty. Justin Brown had a shot at him.
You just can't discipline yourself. It's so tough to break down and not overcommit.
Foster runs out of the grasp of Jeremy Blocker as well. So mark it at the 50. First down and 10 yards to go. 4 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. You see the first downs. Furman has controlled that area. There's Foster again. He sticks his head down, takes it to the 46-yard line where he's gang tackled.
Well, it's good and bad things happening right now. The clock's running and the time's running off the clock. But if Georgia Southern would eat up most of that clock and then get on the board again with either a field goal or touchdown, it won't leave much time for Furman to come back.
Brown was there. Justin Brown, along with J.J. Mars. Jeremy Blocker. Gain of 4 yards on the play. Second down, 6 yards to go. Clock rolls. We have 3:43 left. Foster. The little water bug at quarterback. And he's been a good one today. Here he goes again. The sweep and the toss to Lewis. Lewis down to the 41-yard line, will be 1 yard shy of the first down. Roy Ravenel, the defensive end, makes a stop for Furman.
Did a good job right there.
Furman riding a 12-game winning streak here at Paladin Stadium. They have not lost in this facility since they dropped one to James Madison in the playoffs back in 2004, yeah.
And I believe I was here for that game.
Travis Clark on 3rd down and 1.
Well, this is 4-down territory. I mean, they're 3rd and 1 is
and there's a flag. This is going to be a 5-yard penalty called against Georgia Southern. And I think it was
against Dane Jensen, number 93, right tackle. He's not a happy camper right now.
Ball start. Offense. Number 93. 5 yards. 3rd down.
Dane Jensen, the tight end, whistled. So they back it up 5 yards. That changes things a little bit. Mark it at the 46-yard line. Now it's 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Foster is going out of the lineup. And they'll go with Travis Clark at QB.
They're going to throw. There's no question about it.
Furman with 4 down linemen. 2 receivers to the top of your screen. Tim Camp at the bottom. And a handoff gone to Lewis. He has a first down and more as he picks up 7 yards. Knocked down at the 39, maybe the 38-yard line. On the tackle for Furman, it was Austin Holmes.
Furman was committed to the obvious pass rush to put pressure on Clark. That was a great call by Georgia Southern.
Austin Holmes got the stop. So a gain of 7 makes it first down and 10 yards to go at the 39-yard line.
And they're staying with Clark at quarterback.
2 minutes, 39 seconds. Travis Clark under center now, the I formation. Lewis top of the I takes the toss. And he runs out of a couple tackles. Austin Holmes grabs him, throws him down at the 36-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 3. Will bring up second down and 6 yards to go.
His knee must come down. But we can't see it from here because the Furman players on the sideline, but they're still winding the clock, so he did not get out of bounds.
They mark it at the 35, a gain of 4, second down and 6 yards to go. We close in on the 2-minute mark. Furman up by a field goal. Out of the shotgun, here's Clark. Steps up in the pocket, fires the pass, incomplete, intended for Darius Smiley on a slant route. Andrew Thacker had the coverage. And with 104 seconds remaining, Georgia Southern will face third down and about 6 yards to go.
They're going to get the ball in Foster's hands one way or the other right now. I can't imagine not using him in this situation.
Well, Jason Foster is back in the lineup. Chris Covington's in there.
But he's out in the slot as a receiver.
That's him, number 4, Travis Clark, out of the shotgun. On 3rd and 6. Straight drop. Here comes the pressure. They throw it underneath. Here's Covington. Cuts it back, and he got whacked at the 32-yard line, but spun ahead to about the 31. So Andrew Jones makes a stop on Covington. Big-time hit.
Good hit.
And it's going to bring up 4th down and about 1 yard to go.
Well, they've got to go for it.
Georgia Southern will call timeout here. So it will be 4th down and 1 yard to go. Brian Van Gorder, you see the hit put on Covington by Andrew Jones.
It was a great hit, but it's just too bad he bounced a little bit and got another yard or two. But it's good for Georgia Southern. Well, this is what we expected, Chuck.
As we said earlier, Furman with a 12-game winning streak. They have to make it 13 to stay alive for the 2006 1AA playoff. That field will be announced next Sunday by the NCAA Selection Committee.
Thank you for your support of Furman football.
That's a tough job. I've been looking at the standings and trying to figure out what I would do. I used to be on the committee, and there's so many variables that go into that. You know, one of them, I think, Charleston Southern lost today. I think we heard that here. And they had hopes, but their schedule was so weak. They have 4 non-division 1AA teams on their schedule. When you get that, and then you get teams with 3 losses from good leagues, it's a tough call.
Appalachian State has won the Southern Conference regular season crown, so the Mountaineers will have the automatic bid. And if Furman loses this game, Appalachian State could be the only one to get in.
You're right.
Here it is, 4th down and 1 yard to go.
Furman's not lining up. They quick snap, but they're not ready to play.
High formation under center. It's Travis Clark. He's going to go for the bundle. Throws it. Passes complete. And out of bounds inside the 20 at the 16 is the tight end, Hal Scarborough.
That took some guts on 4th down.
You get to watch it again. So now they are definitely in field goal range for Bo Galvin.
1:23 left.
This would be a 33-yard field goal from right here, but they've got 1st down and 10 yards to go, going for the W. Little Foster back in at quarterback. Hands it off to Covington. Covington takes it to the 15, maybe the 14-yard line before he's knocked down by Gary Nelson.
I don't understand when that clock started. When they blew that ball ready for play, the clock should have started, and it didn't start for about 6 or 7 seconds.
We're down to about a minute, and Georgia Southern will burn its final timeout here. Bo Galvin has one and only one field goal in his collegiate years. That was a 40-yarder earlier in this half for Georgia Southern, or rather in the second quarter. It gave Georgia Southern at that time a 10-7 lead. Very little scoring in this game. A couple of field goals by Scott Beckler in the second half for Furman, and that's all she wrote.
I think they'll go for the end zone.
There's Galvin warming up on the sidelines now.
But they've got enough time, and they've got 2 good shots to get in the end zone.
Georgia Southern now out of timeouts. Furman has all 3 of its timeouts remaining.
Well, this Clark youngster for Georgia Southern, he's got an arm now. They don't pressure him. He can rifle the ball in there in traffic.
Here come the Eagles back on to the field after gathering around Coach Brian Van Gorder. You see him. He gives Clark the play, and here we go. 66 ticks. Bobby Lamb looking on from the opposite sideline. His playoff hopes riding on a stop here.
They got single coverage out here. It's a tough job.
Travis Clark under center. Play action. Clark back, goes for the end zone, overshoots the intended receiver. That was Reggie McCutcheon. The wide receiver ran a post route, and the coverage by Jeremy Blocker. And that pass overshot him by a wide margin, so it brings up 3rd down and 9. Ball at the 15-yard line.
Well, they opted to go for the score. Now it'll be interesting here where they keep the ball on the ground and then try to kick the field goal to go overtime or give Furman almost no time left on the clock.
As you can see, prayers on the sidelines for Furman. I'm sure there's prayers on the other side as well. Coach Bobby Lamb looking on. Another great battle between these 2 schools. 3rd down and 9. Clark will go from the shotgun.
Receivers up top.
Here comes the pressure. Clark steps up, throws it, and it passes off the hands of Lamar Lewis, incomplete. He kind of just flipped that away. There was pressure on him from Bray as he let it go.
They got good
Big
pressure.
Wesley Bray got the good pressure up the middle, put the hammer on Clark, and he just kind of flipped it out to the side. There's Bray. And that pass incomplete brings up 4th down and 9 yards to go. And here comes Bo Galvin once again. Galvin will try a 32-yard field goal.
Bullen home to attempt a 32-yard field goal.
This would be to tie it.
It's not far from the middle of the field, so he's probably got a good shot at it.
Galvin gets it up there. The kick on the way. Kick is no good. No good.
Wow.
Up to the left, no good, and Furman may have just won its way into the finals.
From our point of view, it looked okay, but it must have hooked a lot more than we could see from up here in the press box.
Furman may have just taken that step into the NCAA playoffs. Galvin doesn't believe it. Here's the shot, and it wasn't even close, folks. Missed by about 10 feet.
How many timeouts does Georgia Southern have left?
Brian Van Gorder, it's been a frustrating season for him. Galvin upset.
They have none.
So Furman will take a knee here a couple of times and get out of here with their 8th victory of the season, 8-3, and they hope it's good enough to get them into the finals.
They let the clock run down and take the delay of game or took a timeout with a second or 2 left. This new rule prohibits teams from coming back. They run less plays, have less opportunities. There would have been 50-some seconds on that clock.
Bobby Lamb urging his folks to play these final 25 seconds. But it's going to be the take-a-knee play for Furman here.
Listen, you win and lose some of these games, so when you win one like this, be thankful. They've earned it. Both these teams have played their hearts out today.
And always comes down to the final few ticks on the clock, and it's been frustrating on both sides. Furman has lost some tough games to Georgia Southern and vice versa.
Well,
that evens up the record here for Furman and Georgia Southern. Furman actually had a under 500 record against the Eagles here at Paladin Stadium, which is quite unique.
These 2 teams have one of the greatest rivalries in 1AA football. There's no question about that. Georgia Southern would have liked nothing better to knock Furman out of contention for the playoffs.
Bo Galvin being consoled by his teammates on the Georgia Southern side, and this will be Bobby Lamb's favorite play here as Sorrells takes a knee, and that's all she wrote, folks.
That's it.
Paladins get a win over their arch rival, winning over Georgia Southern 13-10, going to 8-3 on the year, 6-1 in Southern Conference play, and what they hope is enough momentum to get a bid in the NCAA Division I AA playoffs coming up, or to be announced a week from tomorrow. Final score, Furman 13, Georgia Southern 10 on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Teams congratulating each other. Furman gets a 13-10 victory over Georgia Southern. Let's go to Nate Ross now, standing by with a winning coach, Bobby Lamb.
Coach, I know it's a great win for the program. You're not in the playoffs, definitely, but it'd be a national controversy if you're not. You've played in a lot of games. You're coaching a lot of games. How many times have you played two teams on the other sideline? You had to play two different teams today.
Well, I tell you what, we're proud of what happened today. Jason Foster is the most dangerous player in the league. I told him a while ago, keep his head up. He's going to be a great player, and unfortunately, he's back next year. So we're just happy with the win, and by golly, we're in the playoffs. I can tell you that. 8-3 in this conference, we're definitely in.
George with a big fourth down play to stop them early, with about 5, 6, 7 minutes ago.
Well, it was huge, and Ronaldo Gray got hurt, and we couldn't get anything going on offense, but we made enough plays, and we decided to put it in our defense's hands, and our defense won it for us.
All right, now I got to ask you this question. Before the year started, you scheduled next week as an off week to get ready for the playoffs. Now you're getting ready to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great now. I mean, everybody wants to know how I felt about that, and I said, well, depends on if we win the playoffs or not. So we're going to take a great week off, get well, and hopefully be ready to play in the first round.
How about the big man's ankle? How's he doing?
He's doing fine. We didn't get the ball to him enough in the second half, but trust me, he'll get in the playoffs.
All right, Coach, that's great. Now we're going to try to get Roy Ravenel in here. Come here, Roy. Roy Ravenel, obviously one of the great players on defense today. A great win for you guys and big-time defensive stands down the stretch.
Yeah, all night long we said it's a team effort. Defense came through tonight. We had offense carry us through a couple of games, like UNC, when they had to score 45 points, and we still didn't win. But tonight, defense took a charge, and we stepped up.
How many times in your mind did you remember you're number one in the country last year, you go to their place, they get you with a minute to go? Not that it crept in your mind you weren't going to win, but a little revenge factor today.
Yeah, it's a little revenge. Today they was trying to take our playoff chances, but, hey, we said do or die time, and we had to come out and play.
It's a great way. Now you got to get your quarterback's ankle healthy.
Yeah, we do. I'm glad we got this bye week at the end of the season, so we just got to wait to see who we play in the playoffs. Hopefully we have everybody healthy in about 2 weeks.
Well, that's why Coach Lamb's the head man. That's a good scheduling.
Yeah, it was. So hopefully everybody be rested.
All right, good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Roy Ravenel, one of the great defensive players on his team. Coach Lamb, a happy man. We'll send it up to you, Chuck.
All right, Ravenel and company did a great job on the Furman defensive side of the ball. The offensive player of the game, brought to you by ACI Telecom, is Ronaldo Gray. Gray on the afternoon, 10 of 20 on the evening, 125 yards through for a big touchdown. That's him limping to the dressing room now, and of course, he hopes to rest up in this off week and get back and get ready to start in the playoffs. And the play of the game brought to you by ACI Telecom. That's the touchdown catch by Brantley Kendall from Ronaldo Gray that got Furman out in front early, 7-0, and was enough to get them over the top, just barely over the top against Georgia Southern. 13-10 is the final score. So a great game. We'd like to thank Walt Nadjack for working with us today. Another great job, Walt.
I appreciate it.
You're like automatic.
Yeah. I don't know.
And a great camera work today by our CSS crew, Vince Early and company, Renee Ross and Walt Nadjack. This is Chuck Hushin saying so long from Paladin Stadium. Your final score once again, Furman 13 and Georgia Southern 10. Stay with us. More college football coming up next. Louisiana Monroe and Florida International on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.